So when you're going to both write the book and illustrate the book, did you write the whole story first? Did
No.
you write some and illustrate some and back and forth?
Yeah, it was back and forth. So like I said, I started with that image just in my head and kind of did some rough sketches of a boy jumping into a puddle, and then just sat and looked at it for a while. And then what happens next? And then maybe I had to write something. How do I get this boy into the puddle with words? I got him there with pictures. Now I got to do it with words. But then you have to also play the words as like the baseline, and the pictures or the melody or something. So it's like it can't just be words and then pictures repeating what the words already said. So my goal was to like write the story and then have the pictures build on it and expand on flesh out the world, expand on the idea, so that you have.
It's not a one for one.
Yeah, it's like a harmonize. You're trying to harmonize it. You're not just repeating yourself with pictures, because then it gets a little like, why does it need to be a picture book? If you wrote it with the words and you're just repeating yourself with the pictures, it could have just been just a little poem that you threw out there.
Okay, explain that to me in one of these sections.
Yeah, so
he plunged into the sea.
Yeah, so
and he looks like he's plunging into the sea to me.
Hey, don't call me out on this.
That's respectfully, that's 1 for Jared, 0 for Forrest.
No, because I'm super interested, because my brain, like, even I have another question about which is the bass line and which is the melody, but I'll wait for that one. First, can you so tell me, you write he plunged into the sea, but what are you doing? I mean, I would just have him plunging into the sea, and I'm ignorant, so I just looked at this and I think he's plunging into the sea, but I know there's more there. So, what did you do?
So, okay, he tumbled through a cloudy sky. Obviously, that's 1-to-1. But there's there's a ship there, right? So it's not just there's more information. Like, the image is pushing you a little further. He plunged into a sea. You get the whole of a boat. So that's setting up. It's like you're setting up punchlines over and over. So you set it up, deliver the punchline, set up the joke, deliver the punchline. So, and then even with this, and met up with his pirate crew, all brave and bold and free. He's like, you could just have him shaking hands with a crew on a ship, or, he's just got netted out of the ocean. There's a bunch of flopping fish. So you can give deliver the bare bones information with the words, and then build the world with the pictures. So what if there's, he's caught up in a net, they're fishing, whatever it is.
To keep pushing Jared's question, because I do want you to go to his second one, but where is there? Do you remember a section here where you had this difficulty, where, whether it's like ideation or whether it's where did you run into trouble, and what was the end result?
Ooh, it was so long ago. I remember the killing the dragon beat. Well, actually, before we go there, here's another one. This is one of my favorites that some people have caught, some people haven't. This guy, he's so pumped to see Crispin, he's just firing his gun. Then the next page, Rose and Mary Poppins umbrellas into the scene, and she's got a smoking bullet hole in her umbrella. So telling you instantly that she just got shot at, and is just like, I don't care. I'm not, unflustered. So things like that, where it's like, I'm just kind of, at that point, I'm just kind of entertaining myself, but it still adds an element to Rose that, on your 100th reading as a parent, whatever, if your kid likes it that much, you can start to pick up these little things that help build the characters. But back to your question, I think the beat at the end with the dragon was, it took time. It was too short, and there wasn't this big finale. That the payoff didn't really feel very satisfying. So then it was challenging to physically stage it so that I could set Crispin up so that he could jump off a rock and slash the dragon. When the introduction of the dragon's flying out from behind a castle above the crew, and I needed to I knew I wanted that image of Crispin with the sword above his head, yelling for Rose. It had to be this epic moment, because I wanted boys to jump off the couch and do the exact same thing with their own lightning blades at home. So I knew I needed that beat where Crispin could jump off a rock and kill a dragon with his lightning blade. So
you do have to stage that and
you had to give the information about the dragon, what's going on, but then stage get him up on this rock, without letting people know, like, all right, I have to pause the story so I can run, Crispin can run up here just so I can get that one image of him, you know, slaying the beast.
Nice. So on the with the net, the text says it met up with his pirate crew, all brave and bold and free. He could just be shaking hands, but you have him in the net. Are you saying that? So is it not as good if you add a line like bounded in a net with fish for the eyes to see or something like that? Right.
Nice. That rhymed off the
Here we
dome.
go.
Yeah, off the dome. So does that like? But that would make it not as good.
Because if you're just describing everything on the page with the words, then you don't necessarily need to see it with pictures as well. So it's like it's a little more impressionistic, I think, if you have a brushstroke here, little gap, little brushstroke here. So the imagination has to like jump from images to words, and that keeps it active. At least that's the theory. That's the goal. So I want kids to read this and to be listening, processing the words, but also noticing things, being surprised and delighted by the little details and things that aren't actually mentioned in the text.